A praying mantis tries to stop a chariot.
螳臂当车。
2,000 years ago, in the early morning light, a man named Yen he stood at a crossroads. He was a learned man, a teacher. But the student he was about to meet was unlike any other. This student was the crown prince of the Wei state. His father was the king. The prince was powerful, wild, and he had a terrible temper. Everyone feared him. Yen he knew that if he tried to force the prince to be good, the prince would get angry. That anger could get Yen he killed. But if he did nothing, the prince would ruin the kingdom. Yen he was trapped. So he went to an older, wiser man named Chu Boyu. "What do I do?" Yen he asked. "How do I teach a man who thinks he knows everything? If I try to stop his bad behavior, he will destroy me. If I let him be, he will destroy the country." Chu Boyu listened. Then he did not give a direct answer. Instead, he told a story. He said, "Do you know the praying mantis?" Yen he nodded. "Imagine the hottest day of summer," Chu Boyu said. "The roads are dusty and hard. A cart is coming. It is a heavy cart, pulled by strong horses. The wooden wheels are tall and wide. They roll forward with a sound like thunder. Nothing can stop them." "Now," he said, "a small mantis stands in the middle of that road. It is green and small. Its body is no longer than your finger. It sees the giant wheels coming. It hears the thunder. Does it run? Does it hide in the grass?" Chu Boyu shook his head. "No. It raises its two front legs. It makes itself look big. It puffs up. It stands tall. And it swings its little arms at the wheel, trying to stop it." He looked at Yen he. "That mantis," he said, "does not know it is too small. It does not understand that it cannot win. It thinks it is strong. It thinks it can fight the cart. But in 1 second, the wheels will roll over it, and it will be gone." Yen he felt a chill. "So you are saying I am like that mantis?" Chu Boyu said. "I am saying be careful. Do not show off your great learning to the prince. Do not try to fight his anger with your rules. That is what the mantis does. It shows off its strong arms. And it is crushed." This story became famous. But there is another side to it, from another kingdom far away. A king named Duke Shuang of Qi loved to hunt. One day, he was in his chariot, riding through the countryside. His horses were fast. His soldiers followed behind. Suddenly, the driver stopped the chariot. "My king," the driver said, "look there." The king looked. In the middle of the path stood a small praying mantis. Its body was green. It stood on its back legs. And it raised its front legs, ready to fight the chariot. The soldiers laughed. Stupid bug. One said. It will be smashed. But Duke Xuan did not laugh. He watched the little creature. It was so small. The chariot was so huge. The horses could crush it in one step. Yet the mantis did not move. It did not run. It stood its ground. Duke Xuan raised his hand. Stop, he said. Do not hurt it. The driver was confused. My king, it is just an insect. It will die. The king smiled. Look at its courage, he said. This little one does not care how big the enemy is. It only knows one thing, to fight. If it were a man, it would be the bravest warrior in the land. Then the king gave an order. He told the driver to turn the chariot around. They made a wide circle, going around the mantis, leaving it safe in the middle of the empty road. News of this spread. Warriors from all over the land heard what the king had done. They said, "The king honors a small mantis just for being brave. He will honor us too." So they came to serve him. They were ready to fight for him, to die for him. The king's army grew strong because he showed respect for courage, no matter how small. So now you have two stories about the same thing. In the first story, the mantis is a warning. It is a fool who does not know its own limits. It tries to stop the cart and is destroyed. This is the story of Yen He and the prince. Do not be like the mantis. Do not fight a battle you cannot win. Do not show off your strength when you have none. But in the second story, the mantis is a hero. It is small. It is weak. It will lose. But it does not back down. It stands in the road and raises its arms. Duke Xuang sees this and he does not laugh. He respects it. He goes around it. So which one is right? Is the mantis a fool or a hero? Think about your own life. There are times when we all face something like that cart. Maybe it is a boss who is always angry. Maybe it is a problem too big to solve. Maybe it is a dream that seems impossible. You feel small. You feel like that mantis standing in the dust, looking up at something huge coming your way. Do you run? Or do you stand? Most people will tell you to be smart. Do not be a fool. Do not get crushed. Know your limits. That is good advice. But there is something else. Sometimes you have to stand. Sometimes you have to raise your arms, even when you know you cannot win. Not because you will win, but because it is the right thing to do. Because giving up would feel worse than losing. You see that mantis in the road. It is going to lose. But for one moment, it makes the cart turn. It makes the king stop. It makes the whole army watch. In that moment, it is not a fool. It is something else. It is a creature that will not quit. That is the truth of this old story. Know your limits. Do not be stupid. But when the moment comes, when you have to stand for something real, do not be afraid to be that mantis. Because the world does not remember the cart. The cart just rolls on and disappears. But people remember the small green warrior who stood in the middle of the road and would not move. So when you learn English, or when you face your own battles, remember the mantis. Learn from its mistake. Do not pick fights you cannot win just to show off. But also learn from its spirit. When you have to stand, stand tall. The wheel will come. It always does. But you get to decide if you will be the one who runs, or the one who, for a moment, makes the whole world turn.
下集请移步主页观看。